Good morning, Commanders Nation. Wizards Nation. The fuck, I'm tripping. Um, so I wanted to get on live today because a couple days ago, I think for like a day ago actually, no, 2 days ago, the DraftKings set the actual win total projection for us for the upcoming 2025-2026 season at 21.5 dubs, which would mean a 3.5 game improvement on last year. And then also the year before that, we won 15 games. So, we're improving by 3 each year. This is according to DraftKings. To each your own. But I figured I should get on and just, chop it up a bit regarding this whole, whether you guys agree with it or not. Personally, this is my opinion. If you're taking the over and the under, I feel like I'm gonna take the over, but only by a little bit. I am currently I'm thinking the sweet spot is 22 to 23 dubs. I think realistically speaking, I'm not trying to be a homer. I don't know how I'm gonna be a homer predicting my team's gonna win 23 games the entire season, but I'm not mad at this. 21.5, what DraftKings is expecting us to win this year, but I'm thinking 23 or 22. Let me just read this article real quick and then I'll get back to y'all. Well, nobody's in chat yet, so this will come in as the second lowest win total. So DraftKings has us being the second worst team this upcoming year at 21.5 games. Now, I don't think that's going to be the second worst record, because I feel like teams are going to tank out the ass this year as well. If you thought that this year it was a freaking atrocity for what these teams were doing with Cooper Flag and all this stuff, it's going to be even worse. They got Boozer, Devonta, Peterson. Teams are going to be, they're just going to outwardly tank. So I don't think 21.5 dubs this year is going to get us the second worst record. If that happens, we'll be lucky, honestly. But they're saying this is going to be the second lowest win total this upcoming year. The only team with a worst prediction this year for DraftKings is the Jazz at 18.5. The Wizards prediction puts them at the worst predicted team in the Eastern Conference. Greg Fingberg, he's the shit. Like I said, last year we won 18 games. The year before that we won 15 games. Honestly, with the way, because we won 18 last year, the main reason why I feel like we're gonna win a couple more games, because let's just compare this upcoming year's team to last year's team. Jordan Poole is gone, but now McCollum's in. Now I'm not gonna compare those two and say, oh, those two are the same exact player, the same exact impact, but it's gonna be relatively close. McCollum averaged 20 plus points last year. Valanciunas was here before he got traded in the trade deadline. Kyle Kuzma. Granted, I feel like Kyle Kuzma was a negative, even though he's a veteran, but we don't have him this upcoming year. Valanciunas, he's gone. Rashawn Holmes is now gone as well. We got new young bucks. Cam Whitmore's now in town. We got the draft class with Trey Johnson, Will Riley, Jameer Watkins. Don't forget about Jameer. So, we've gotten younger, which is kind of, the McCollum. I wouldn't be surprised if McCollum's traded at the trade deadline, honestly. So them going 21.5, me going 22 to 23 dubs. I feel like what's gonna happen is it's probably gonna be banked on our second year improvement of last year's draft class, also on Bilal as well, and also on this upcoming Trey Johnson. I hate saying the word expect, but I am willing to bet that he is going to be in the Rookie of the Year conversation. Now, that's saying a lot. I might be putting my credibility on the line based off of what I saw, not even from Summer League, but based off what I saw in college at Texas. So, I'm predicting Trey Johnson to have a big year. The main move that I feel like I'm just waiting on is the Corey Kispert one, because that will free up more minutes for guys like Cam Whitmore, hopefully Champagny, maybe Will Riley, Jameer. But yeah, man, this article is pretty much done with. This is our current, lost the chat here. This is our current depth chart. It's nothing set in stone. Bub at the 1, CJ at the 2, Chris Middleton at the 3, Bilal at the 4, Alex R at the 5. Again, this is nothing. This is with no intel. This is just them just stating names. I think Bilal is going to be the starting 3. I think Keyshawn George is going to start at the 4. And let the rest fall as it will. Let everybody else compete. Competition breeds greatness. I think Chris is going to come off the bench primarily not because of, his game. He is still able to contribute, but he's just so injured. We saw him last year when we got him. He was in and out of the lineup. Even if he does start, even though I don't think he will start over Bilal. And I don't think we will have 2 guys over the age of 30 in our starting lineup. That wouldn't make that much sense with McCollum and Middleton. I wouldn't be surprised. Like Middleton's gonna be on and off, man. Like, and I'm not trying to dog him at all. I have the utmost respect for this dude, but yeah, I don't know, but this is the one I'm looking at right now, Corey Kispert. This is the one where I'm just like, because they would just open up so much. Anyways, so this was our team last year, right? I'm gonna move this over here. This is a collectively, even after the trade deadline, because they got Chris Middleton here. Like I said, Smart is gone, but granted, Smart barely even played with us, so I wouldn't even consider him in a net loss or a net dub. Smart's gone. Like a guy's like I'm not even predicting, but like we need second-year guys like Sar, Bub, Key, but predominantly Sar and Bub to show improvement. This is a critical year for Bub. I talked about this. Bub needs to show potential, show competent point guard play so that Will Dawkins can be like, all right, this is my point guard going forward. So that Will Dawkins cannot be swayed by point guards in next year's draft class should we or will we be able to keep our pick, which I'm assuming is one of our top priorities. Let's see here. Yeah, Rashawn Holmes gone. Anthony Gill's gone. Coulibaly. This is another big year for Coulibaly. Coulibaly needs to show something too. He unfortunately, I want to say he regressed last year. He regressed in certain aspects of his game, especially his three-point shot. But Bagley's here now. But Bagley, again, he's injury prone. Brogdon's gone. Who's texting me? Fuck. But yeah, and I want us to go since DraftKings is expecting us to win 21.5 games. Put this right here. Since DraftKings is expecting us to win 21.5 games, this was the record from last year. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Y'all can't really see. I got to move this thing around. So last year, 21.5 would have gotten us the 4th worst record in the league. Because that was last year was the Pelicans. They won 21 games. We won 18. We had the 2nd worst record. The Jazz were the only team in front of us. Like I'm saying, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a team that wins 15 games this upcoming year. 16. Yeah, I don't. That DraftKings thing, like, there's going to be a lot of teams tanking. A lot of teams. Definitely the Jazz. I think the Pelicans, what the moves they made, they're trying to win this year. Hopefully it works for them. The Spurs are going to be in playoff contention. The Blazers are underrated. The Suns could be ass. I don't know if they'll win 18 games. They still got dudes like Devin Booker on their team, but The Hornets, they need to show signs of improvement. They can't afford another year of this assness. The 76ers, they're going to be back in contention. Now, I think the Nets, even though the Nets have a nice, they drafted 5 rookies, I wouldn't be surprised if this time they're just like, no, we're really going to tank because they messed up their odds last year and they won 26 games. I wouldn't be surprised. Teams like, I guess the Raptors, they're kind of stuck in the middle of the road. The Heat, but us. See, the thing with us is that we need to keep our pick. Top 8 protected, but how can I say this? I said this in a video, and I'm going to keep on saying this. The 2 most important things is developing the Young Bucks and keeping our pick. Now, if the Young Bucks develop so much so that we end up pulling a Brooklyn Nets season where they win 26 games and they screw over the lottery odds, it's going to hurt. But at the same time, it will show that our Young Bucks developed at a rapid rate, which is great signs for their overall future potential. Right? So it will be a unique, you take the dubs with your losses with that one. The best case scenario is obviously the Young Bucks develop, they show signs of immense promise, and then we still keep our pick. Doesn't matter if it's pick 7 or 6. Fuck, if it is, fuck it, at least it's something. It's better than nothing. Obviously, I want a top 3 pick. Because if we get a top 3 pick in next year's draft class, when there's multiple dudes who are considered not generational, or but I think there's multiple dudes who are on the same level as Cooper Flagg. And even though I like Cooper Flagg, I don't think Flagg was ever generational. I think there's 3 Cooper Flaggs in this upcoming year. So if we grab one of them dudes, we're off and we're off and running, ladies and gentlemen. We're off and running the next year. So, with this whole thing right now, just I wouldn't be surprised if, in the first half, I'm gonna make a prediction. I wouldn't be surprised if in the first half of the season, especially, let's say October, first half of November. Remember last year, we started off 500 for the first 4 games. And we're just like, oh, shit, what the hell? We're going to win? I wouldn't be surprised if we're slightly below 500 in the first month of the season. It's just slightly below. And then as the year progresses, we just keep going down and down and down and down. If we're near a trade deadline and we're having a Brooklyn Nets type season where we're winning more than we should be winning, that doesn't make any sense because the Nets are different, the talent than us, because we have a lot of young players with a lot of promise. No offense to the Nets. Actually, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm a DMV kid. I'm a root for my Wizards. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they're just we are winning more than expected. We need to keep our pick. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised. I expect them to unload the veterans who are helping us win, even at the cost of veteran leadership. If McCollum is balling out and we're winning, or Middleton's staying healthy and we're winning, Will Dawkins will be like, thank you, but now it's time for you to leave. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Because the second half of the season, it's going to be Tank City. But yeah, man, am I in the right channel? What if I went to the wrong channel and I'm over here streaming on the wrong channel like a dumb dick? No. But yeah, that's one of my. It's not even a strong prediction. It's not even a bold prediction. It's not. But this upcoming year, you just gotta show signs of improvement. You have to win more than 18 games. If you win less than 18 games, something went horribly wrong. The worst thing you want, besides an injury, because obviously that's the worst thing, The worst thing you want is to show that your players are showing stagnant growth. This is just my opinion. Stagnant growth or just showing no signs of improvement. Like if Sarr, knock on wood, he comes into this year, and I don't believe this is going to happen at all, but he just shows more of the same from last year, or he's even regressing. I'm just like, shit, I might need to adjust my expectations for Sarr. You know? Or Bilal shows up the same exact player from last year. I'm just like, okay, I mean, you know, maybe I was pushing it with a Jaden McDaniels comparison. You know, maybe we'll be lucky. They need to show signs of improvement. And also for morale as well. Teams like dudes, granted they're young. And Bilal's the youngest dude who's been with the team for like most ass seasons with 2 horrific seasons. And it's going to be most likely 3 horrific seasons. We can't have, granted, we know what we're doing and what we're building, but I'm saying 3. As if you're a competent GM and you have 3 lottery picks, 3 top lottery picks, you need to hit on them. And then that should be sufficient. That should be sufficient for you. Get your core franchise players and then continue building around them via later picks in the draft, free agency, trades. This is Will Dawkins' 3rd year, who most likely will have a lottery pick. Hopefully. Oh, thank God. You know, hopefully we better keep that pick. But, you know, this is going to be like he needs to like I think he's done a great job so far, but I think he knows this. And then after this year, after this upcoming year and after this next year's draft class, I think Will Dawkins is going to be like, all right, screw it. I mean, he showed it to us already, and he already told it to us. I think for the year of 2027, 2028, that's the year. So 2 more seasons from now, 2027, 2028, that's the year where I'm looking like we better make the playoffs. Not even better, but like we have to make the playoffs to show Will Dawkins himself as a GM, he has to make the playoffs. Doesn't matter if it's playing or 8th seed. Not because he has to show Ted Leonsis, hey, the plan is working. And I think we're on that timeline or that trajectory because by then, hopefully our top pick next year will be a year into his 2nd year in the season. Like Alex Sarr will be his 4th year in the league. So same with Bub, Key. You know, so they should be competitive. But like this is the last year where they're going to be rebuilding. But you know, I don't want like you just don't want that losing culture that whole negative vibes or toxic, not even toxic, but just negative losing culture to assimilate and like. You know, just be within the walls of the freaking locker room. You know, you can just smell it. You walk in there. You don't want it in the atmosphere. Too much if it's bad. Ideally, when you're rebuilding like this, or you're having horrific seasons, you're having it with dudes who are not going to be with you long term, like Jordan Poole. So he withstood it, but he's not going to be with us long term. Again, like the dude who's been with us for the longest and been with us through these ass seasons has been Bilal Coulibaly. We don't want this losing culture to cement on his DNA. We don't want him to identify as a loser. You know, Bilal's not a loser. He's a competitive dude. We need to win. So, granted, the only reason I'm saying that is because like if we win less than 18 games, something went wrong. And granted, that would also be the yin and the yang because you'll be like, all right, bet we secured at least if we lose less than 18 games, we secure a top 2 worst record in whole lottery odds. I mean, it's good for us. We're going to secure a pick. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, we did it, but maybe Sarr's not really him. Maybe Bilal's not, maybe Bub's not our point guard in the future. So there'll be negatives with that. So this is why I feel like we have to show signs of improvement. We have to come in here and we have to, instill confidence, not within the fan base, screw us, instill confidence within their own locker room. And this is why I'm bullish because we got dudes who are competitive by nature and also dudes who care about the game. You think Trey Johnson, seeing how competitive he is going to come in here and, withstand like three more horrific seasons? No. Bub Carrington's probably tired of this. Bilal's probably tired of this. Losing Alex Sart, they don't want to lose. That's one thing. And Keyshawn George, Cam Whitmore, like these dudes are competitive dudes. This is the most exciting season for me in my fandom since, again, this is just, I feel like every year from now on, it's going to be even more excitement for us, so this is like just in the beginning of the tower, this is, level 3, but like, next year's going to be level 4, more excitement because hopefully we have another top rookie coming in. But like this to me is the most excited I am to watch a Wizards season since John Wall was on the team. Well, yeah, since we lost, unfortunately, I don't want to bring it up, but since we lost Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Semifinals, second round. And then the next year, we're like, okay, maybe we can be hot stuff. Since that year, obviously we were all excited. Granted, John Wall had the injury concerns, but like, that was 8 years ago? I was nowhere near excited during the Bradley Beal dark ages. I didn't even care. I didn't care. For what? They didn't care about me. Why am I going to care about them? They're lying to us. I didn't care, And yeah, I think, it's just 2017. That's 8 years. 8 years, dude. That's crazy. That's damn near a decade. I was excited coming into last year to watch this team. Now I'm doubly more excited because I want to see dudes like Trey Johnson and Will Riley, Cam Whitmore. I want to see our young bucks continue to improve. Jameer Watkins. And then can you imagine our level of excitement next year after this? If hopefully we get a dude, if we get a DeBonta, oh my God, we'll be super so. It's just my level of excitement is just continuing to gradually to increase. But yeah, man. 21.5, they're projecting us. I'm not mad at it. They're saying that's the second worst record they have on their board for this upcoming year for the Wizards. For the entire NBA. The worst record in the East. Not mad at it at all. 21.5. I'm taking the over. I'm saying 22 to 23. I think that will get us a top 5 worst record, hopefully. We'll be, hopefully. We'll be like in the 76ers range. I believe the Sixers had the 5th worst record last year. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, the Sixers. The Sixers had the 5th worst record. And but then they got lucky though. They got lucky because they jumped up. They got lucky. But yeah, man. I'm taking the over, but only by a slight bit. 22 to 23 wins, 23 win max. This is just me realistically speaking. And it's just me being high on our current young squad, our young core. I think dudes like Bilal Coulibaly is going to take a jump. Sar, I think Trey Johnson's going to have a magnificent rookie campaign. So this is predominantly based off of my expectation on the growth of our players and the arrival of Trey Johnson. And also with McCollum being there, I think he's going to somewhat replicate Jordan Poole's stuff, But yeah, man, I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad. Hopefully we can continue to, see the progression. But this is the last year. Super excited, man. I don't know what else to say. How long I've been in stream for? 24 minutes? Let me check something real quick. Terry McLaurin. What the hell is going on? What's going on with Terry? This man. It's his agent. His agent is screwing things over for us. I'm sorry. I'm checking my Twitter right now to see if Terry, has any news on this Terry thing. But let's see. Hold on. For some reason, I can't see chat. Like, it's showing here. Yeah, I can't see chat. My chat's not loading in this thing. What the hell? That's weird. Sorry, y'all. Jay and Kari Ali, thank y'all. Um, but yeah, man, Terry, what the hell's going on with Terry? It's not him. It's his agent, Buddy. Who's this? Is this agent a golden retriever, Buddy? Buddy? Hey, man, I can't, man. This is the year for This is a year for us. We're in Super Bowl contention, in my opinion, or being in Super Bowl conversations, and this whole Terry thing is screwing things over. I'm not worried. I'm just now officially irritated with the whole saga now. This whole time I was like, Terry's gonna get signed before training camp. Terry's gonna get signed in the morning of training camp. This whole time, and then now all of a sudden, like he requests a trade. I swear, man, if this continues, Air Bud better get the hell out of the DMV. People are turning on Air Bud. But going back to the Wizards, man, let's think positively. And the Commanders are in good shape too. We're gonna wreck this year. We're gonna wreck. But yeah, man. Let's see. Yeah, my chat's not showing up. It's showing up on my phone. Antisocial extroverts. That's me too. Whitmore, Trey, and Keyshawn equals the big three. Trey starts after 25 games. I'm on board with that. It's not because of Trey. I think it's more because of McCollum. I think if it wasn't for McCollum, I think Trey would be starting day one. Even though I think Trey's going to get big minutes out. I think he's going to get 25 at least game one, 25 minutes a game. But he's going to continue growing. So I kind of agree with you on Trey starts after 25 games. We'll win 30 games this year. If we win 30 games this year, that would show a lot of that would show us that all right, we got a couple dogs on our roster who are bona fide studs who can possibly be all-stars. But again, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. If we win 30 games, we're going to be in the Raptors range. Because the Raptors, I believe, won 30. Yep, they won 30 last year. And then we're pick 9 this year? If we win 30 games, we are in severe danger of losing our pick. Severe. Now we gotta take the yin and the yang because if we win 30 games, that'll show dudes like some of the dudes broke the hell out. Trey Johnson, I'd assume, won Rookie of the Year, but if we win 30, we may as well just kiss that top 8 protected pick goodbye. It would hurt, but I would be mad, but I'll also be really happy. So I'll be in the middle. I wouldn't know how to feel, honestly. I wouldn't know how to feel. I'll be so pissed off that we lost our pick, but we lost it for a right reason. But I still would be so pissed off. I was like, fuck, dude. What, now we got to do things. But, I understand. Yeah, I'm saying 22-23 wins. But 30 games, hey, stranger things have happened. But yeah, that would show that our dudes just ball the hell out, our young dudes. And, I would assume Trey Johnson's Rookie of the Year conversation with that outcome. I'd assume Sarr took a big jump, like showing stars of promise of all-star. I'd assume guys like even Bub balled the hell out. Bilal, Key, Cam. If we won 30 games, I'd assume Cam went ham. Cam went ham. Like 18 plus. So yeah, maybe we don't know. But I hear you, dude. I hear you. I mean, yeah, it's not the move. 30 wins is not the move, but if it happens, and another thing is, even if let's say we do win 30 games, that will be a 30, but with a asterisk mark next to it, because damn well that Will Dawkins would have traded everybody, McCollum, Middleton, every single veteran, every dude over the age of 26, Corey Kispert, and then we still won 30 games. So I mean, we could have won even more than 30 games had we kept McCollum, and I'm assuming that's what that will happen. If we are at that high rate, And I'm like, damn, we could have possibly won even 34. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what? You know, but 30 games, yeah. I would feel, I would feel, I would feel. All right, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I would feel hurt. I would feel hurt, but also I would feel mostly hurt, honestly. And that's, yeah. Now I'm just thinking about, yeah, we are not a free agent destination. We've never really been one. We can get via trades, but the way we get our stars, besides Gilbert Arenas when we got him in free agency, is via the draft. And the fact that we would lose out on a top, like a heavy loaded draft class, I'd be like, fuck, we lost out. Yeah. See, it's different for different teams. Like if the Miami Heat were in our situation, I'll be like, all right, as a fan, I'll be like, all right, fuck, we lost it. Damn it, it hurts. But we can still sign a free agent because players always want to come to us. But for us, it's different. We got to build to the draft. So, yeah, it would hurt. But the only way I would take it is if Cam Whitmore just looks like a freaking all-star. So I was like, all right, bet, we got Cam then, so, but still, I would have liked Boozer, I would have liked Peterson. But it would hurt, but it would still feel, I don't know. I'll probably say 70-30. 65-35, actually. 65 hurt, 35. All right, this is beautiful. But mostly because of just how we are. Like, we're not a free agent destination team. I view us as a small market team. I get shitted on in the comments all the time because people think we're not a small market team. But with the way this franchise has been, last chip being 1978, a disillusioned fan base over the years, a lot of transplants here in the DMV who are not Wizards fans, we need to change the culture around. Now, granted, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this too. I'm in the stream because people keep shitting on me regarding that, but I'm standing firm on my thing. We can agree to disagree, but people keep bringing up the argument. Yeah, we're the 9th most populated metropolitan area in the entire country, which means obviously we're not a small market team per human wise, which is correct. People are correct with saying that. But those people here in the DMV, they're not that infatuated with the Wizards, not because of the recent years, but because of how we've been. Let's just call it a spade. When was the last time we won 50 games? It's been years, dude. Decades. Decades of horrific management, ownership has swayed this possible, like the Commanders, the Redskins in the 80s. We were one of the biggest markets. This team was this DMV was a football town. The Wizards, it should be applied the same thing, right? Well, no, because the Redskins had the glory years in the 80s and the early 90s. And then the years of disillusionment, that's why even though people bring up that argument to me, like saying, oh, dude, how do you dumb dick? We're the 9th most populated metropolitan area in the entire country. We're not a small market team. All right, then. Tell me a free agent that has willingly came here. Or two dudes. Kevin Durant didn't even want to come home. But that's a whole different thing. I don't subscribe to the notion of people saying that the Wizards are even a medium-sized market team. Because if that's the case, if we are a medium-sized market team, then why are we rebuilding via the draft and just supplementing via free agency? Like teams like the Heat. The Heat don't build through the draft. They have the Heat are a big market team. The Lakers, even the Celtics, even They can build. They have the luxury of building via free agency or even trades, and then supplementing via the draft. But small market teams like us, the Hornets, like the Jazz, we have to build through the draft because we're not going to be able to sign a stud free agent. It's another thing as well. So this is my and I'm not pissed off, but like. This is my retort to a lot of people who are saying we're not a small market team, we're a medium-sized or a big market team, or just medium-sized. I don't know if people say we're a big market team, but based on their projections saying, dude, we are the 9th, or we have the 9th best, most populated metropolitan area in the entire country, because of that, we're not a small market team. All right, here's my retort to you then. If that's the case, then you not you. Name me a scenario, or not even name me a scenario. Tell Will Dawkins to scratch this current game plan that we have. And let's go with your idea and let's build via free agency and let's see how successful we become. If we scratch this whole building via the draft and supplement it via free agency, and we do the opposite, like how big market teams do or even medium-sized market teams do, we are going to be nowhere. We wouldn't even improve. We wouldn't even like if we didn't follow our route, our small market team route, we wouldn't have gotten dudes like Trey Johnson. We wouldn't have gotten dudes like Bub Carrington, Alex Sard, the number 2 overall pick. I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with that notion. Agree to disagree, but I don't think. Now, will I admit that we have potential to be one of the biggest small market teams or even a medium-sized market teams? Oh, hell yes. Things can change. We saw the Warriors, their history before Steph Curry came in, they didn't really have that much. They're kind of like in the same boat as us. Honestly. And I love my team. I love the Wizards. I love the DMV. But things can change. It just needs one generational player. They got it in Steph Curry. Things can change. Or one generational run. You don't even need a generational player. One generational run that will make fans come back. You're seeing it with Jaden Daniels. He's making fans who are in the age bracket of 50 plus coming back and like, oh shit, this is what I know from the 80s. And now we saw with the sale of the team, they were they sold for like what, $6+ billion, one of the most in NFL history. It's changing. Jaden Daniels is changing. Well, that was different because that was before Jaden. But still, the Commanders fan base is going to triple its size. So we're seeing it. So, and that's going to, now that's when you can apply, okay, yeah, the metropolitan area, But with the Wizards, I'm sorry, right now, we are currently rebuilding. I will admit, and I will agree with you guys who say that we are not a small market team. We have potential. I'm not saying, I worded it wrong. We have potential to be one of the biggest ones, not biggest small market teams, or maybe even a medium size. We have potential. But as of right now, I'm sorry, but I'm standing firm that we are a small market team. And I kind of am a little bit baffled about that, honestly. I thought that was the wide consensus within the fan base, but I guess, some people disagree and say we're medium size. No, dude. You're thinking human capital wise. I'm thinking NBA market wise. We are a small market team, NBA market wise. And honestly, I want to be a small market team. I don't want to be a freaking Lakers fan or a Celtics fan who those guys, not even or like the Heat, or teams that have everything given to them. I want to earn my stuff so that when I taste greatness or when I experience a championship, it's 3 times better than a freaking Lakers fan who experiences this every 4 years. You know what I mean? To me, like that's like being a small market team is being the underdog mentality, and I love that. I always root for the underdog. I want to be the underdog. I want to be a small market team. I take that with pride. I don't think that's no diss at all to us. I want to do that. So when the Bucks won with Giannis, I was like, holy hell, one of us won. That's us. Like, that's just me in life. I love being the underdog. I love having the odds against me and proving people wrong, doing it the hard way and not having things be given to me. I don't like that. It makes me, So there is no shame in being a small market team. But I will admit, yeah, the metropolitan area, one of the most populated in the country. Yeah, but we have potential. We always have potential. We can grow, obviously. We can grow. But I'm sorry, I gotta disagree with that notion. We're a small market team. And I'm fine. I love that. Commanders now, I don't know. Not anymore. They're not smaller. Things can change. Obviously, like we see that. We need our Jaden Daniels. Maybe we have it in Trey Johnson. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna get it next year. And also, not only do you need a Jaden Daniels, but you need to have a generational run or a historic run. Saw the Commanders do that last year with the conference finals with a rookie quarterback. This could be the beginning of a run for us. So you need both. The Commanders have that finally after freaking 30 plus years. Wizards, we're up next. We're up next. And I'm bullish. I don't know what I just said. Yeah, we have to keep our pick. All right, man, I'm gonna end the stream. I don't know. But yeah, man, if you enjoyed this stream, and thank you very much for everybody who joined. My apologies, the chat wasn't showing up. But yeah, man, if you enjoyed this stream, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. I'll see y'all next time. Maybe tomorrow.